Louis IX, known as the Prud'homme, and more commonly known as St. Louis, was born on April 25, 1214, in Poissy, and died on August 25, 1270, in Carthage, near Tunis. He reigned for over 43 years, from 1226 until his death. The ninth king of France from the direct Capetian dynasty, he was the fourth or fifth child and second known son of King Louis VIII, known as Louis the Lion, and Queen Blanche of Castile. He inherited the crown when he was only 12 years old. He was crowned on November 29, 1226, in Reims Cathedral. Louis IX ended the conflict between the Capetians and the Plantagenets, the English, and began expanding the royal domain, to which he annexed the seneschalships of Beaucaire and Carcassonne, while consolidating his sovereignty over Normandy, Anjou, Touraine, Maine, and Poitou. Welcome to the History Channel 26. Leave a comment if a particular object catches your eye. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our upcoming videos. Louis IX went to fight with his brothers Robert of Artois, Alphonse of Poitiers, and Charles of Anjou in Egypt during the Seventh Crusade in 1248. Upon his return, convinced that his failure was due to the immoral state of the kingdom, he worked to strengthen his authority and restore Christian morality. He thus decided to punish blasphemy, gambling, interest-bearing loans, and prostitution. In 1270, he returned to Tunisia for the Eighth Crusade, during which he died of illness. The king was seriously ill with scurvy, and possibly bilharzia. At the instigation of his grandson, Philip IV the Fair, he was canonized on August 11, 1297, under the name St. Louis of France, by Pope Boniface VIII. The first 82mm Seal of Majesty depicts the king seated on a throne adorned with the forepart of dragons. He wears short, curly hair encircled by a crown of 3 fleurs-de-lis. In his right hand, he holds a blooming fleur-de-lis, and in his left, a scepter topped with a floral motif. The matrix was probably created between his accession on November 8, 1226, and his coronation on November 29th of the same year. This seal was used until April 1250, certified by a document from May 1266 in which the king attests to having seen an impression of this seal. The 38 by 32mm counter seal features a fleur-de-lis surrounded by 2 twisted circles. The second 83mm Seal of Majesty depicts the seated king in the same manner as the first seal, with differences in the details of the mantle and the platform. He wears a crown of a different design, as well as the flower and the scepter. This lesser-made seal was engraved during King Louis IX's stay in the Holy Land in 1248. The oldest existing impression dates from March 1252. The most recent impression dates from August 1270. The 40 by 32mm counter seal features a fleur-de-lis surrounded by a circle of beading flanked by 2 fillets. A 72mm Regency seal depicts a crown with a wide band adorned with precious stones, surmounted by 3 fleurs-de-lis, placed in the center of a polylobe decorated with indentations and tri-lobed flowers. This seal was used by the regents Matthew de Vendôme and Simon de Nesle after the king's departure for his Second Crusade on March 15, 1270. It was also apparently used by the regents after the death of St. Louis on August 25, 1270, until Philip III returned to Paris in May 1271. Philip III is said to have simply kept the matrix, requesting that the royal first name in the legend be changed from Louis to Philip. No impression exists of this latter seal with a new legend. The 33 by 29 mm counter seal depicts a shield strewn with fleurs de lis, within a circle of beadwork. For another Regency seal, see the video on Philip III the Bold, episode 7 of this series on the seals of the kings of France. The so-called St. Louis signet, rectangular and measuring 19 by 13 mm, is shaped like a sapphire intaglio. King Louis IX is depicted standing, facing forward, on a small platform. He wears short, curly hair, a crown, and a halo. In his right hand, he holds a scepter topped with a fleur-de-lis, and in his left, a globe. The letters S and L frame the king for the words, Sigillum Ludivisi. It is uncertain whether this signet was Louis IX, but it may have been Louis X, engraved during the time of Philip IV the Fair in the second half of the 14th century. The halo would have been added during the assembly of the signet ring at that time.